Have you ever felt an invisible current pulling at you, subtle yet undeniable, like life itself is whispering that something extraordinary is about to happen? Maybe you can't explain it, but you feel it in your chest, in the quiet moments when the world around you slows down. That's not just your imagination. That's the signal, the call to awaken. Right now, in this very moment, you are exactly where you are meant to be. This isn't chance. This isn't random. Every twist, every detour, every moment of doubt has led you here to this point, to this video, to this exact breath you're taking right now. And I want you to hear me. You didn't arrive here by accident. You were guided. Most people will scroll past messages like this. They'll dismiss them as coincidence, as noise. But you stayed. That tells me something about you. It tells me you've been searching not just for answers, but for truth. And that search has prepared you for what comes next. The call to awakening doesn't come with fanfare or flashing signs. It comes quietly, in the moments you question the path you're on, in the subtle sense that the reality you've accepted isn't the whole picture. It's the whisper telling you, there's more. You are more. Maybe you've felt restless lately, like the life you've built, no matter how stable, no matter how familiar, doesn't fully fit anymore. That's because you're expanding. The old patterns, the old roles, the old stories, they're too small for who you're becoming. This is your moment to step beyond them. And I want to make something clear. This journey is not for everyone. It's for those who are ready to see differently, to feel differently, to live differently. It's for those willing to stand at the edge of their known world and take a step into the unknown. So if you're still here, still listening, trust that inner pull. Because everything you're about to hear, everything you're about to feel, is part of the shift that's already begun inside you. You're not here to be entertained. You're here to remember who you are. We're going to go deep into consciousness, into the quantum nature of reality, into the hidden power you've carried all along. And when we're done, you won't just understand it. You'll feel it. You'll live it. So take a breath. Settle into this moment. Open your mind, open your heart, and get ready. Because your awakening starts now. You've been on this path for longer than you realize. Maybe it began with a book someone recommended, a late-night video that stirred something inside you, or a conversation that left you questioning everything you thought you knew. Since then, you've really tried to find the answers. You've visualized your ideal life, meditated in search of inner peace, repeated affirmations, practiced manifestation, worked with your energy, read the teachings of masters. And yet, there's still been that quiet voice inside whispering, something is missing. It's not that those practices were wrong. They may have brought you moments of insight, flashes of clarity, even profound experiences, but then life would happen, old patterns would return, the sense of connection would fade, and you'd find yourself searching again, buying the next course, booking another retreat, hoping the next insight would be the one that finally sticks. This is the cycle almost every seeker walks through, the high of discovery, the dip of doubt, the restless return to searching. And the truth is, it's not your fault. We've been conditioned to believe the answers are out there in someone else's method, someone else's system, someone else's approval. But the more you look outside, the further you drift from the one place. You can never lose the truth within yourself. Think about it. How many times have you believed, if I just learn this, master that, follow this teacher, then I'll arrive? And yet, arrival never came. That's because the very act of seeking can create the illusion that you are incomplete now, that the person you are in this moment is somehow lacking. The journey becomes an endless chase, and the destination keeps moving further away. But here's the shift. What if the seeking was never meant to give you the answer, but to exhaust the illusion that you ever needed to search? Every moment of frustration, every failed attempt, every return to square one, it's all been pointing you back to the same realization. You already are what you've been looking for. If you've been searching for years, it hasn't been wasted time. It's brought you right here, to this moment, ready to hear something you couldn't have heard before. Because now, you're not just ready to collect more concepts, you're ready to see through the game entirely. So take a breath and be honest with yourself. What have you truly been searching for all this time? Share it in the comments, not just the surface answer, but the one that rises from deep inside. You might be surprised how close it's been to you all along. For so long, you've believed that the next answer, the next insight, the next spiritual breakthrough would finally unlock the door to who you truly are. You've been through the motions classes, techniques, practices, and each one seemed to bring you closer to the goal. But what if the final test isn't about finding something new at all? What if it's about realizing what has always been inside of you? The moment you stop seeking, something extraordinary happens. It's not about earning the next level, achieving the next title, or passing the next invisible exam. The final test is the recognition that there was never anything to pass in the first place. You've always been whole. Your true nature has been here the entire time, patiently waiting for you to stop trying to achieve it and simply notice it. Here's where many seekers get caught. They continue looking, continue striving, convinced that there must be some missing step that will lead them to the finish line. But what if the destination was never a faraway place? What if it was right here, within you, in the stillness that exists beneath all the effort? When you finally stop searching, when you no longer feel the need to fix yourself, to upgrade yourself, to become something else, an almost imperceptible shift takes place. The years of chasing and collecting information suddenly dissolve, and you see the truth. You have always been exactly who you were meant to be. Everything you've been seeking has been carried within you all along. This final test is not passed by adding more to yourself. It is passed by letting go, by releasing the belief that you are lacking in any way. It's the gentle surrender to your own completeness, the willingness to rest in your own being without trying to decorate or improve it. And then, almost magically, everything changes. You stop running after something that has never left you. You stop identifying with what you think is missing and begin to live from the wholeness you already are. The gaps you once saw in yourself no longer feel like holes to be filled, but spaces through which light and presence naturally flow. If you're starting to feel this shift, if something inside you is whispering that there's nothing left to chase, pause for a moment. Feel what it's like to simply be here, without the need to add anything. And if this realization is touching something deep within you, take a moment to like this video so it can find its way to others who are ready to stop searching and start living from their own wholeness. The truth has always been here, and now, so are you. We've been taught to see ourselves as separate from the world around us, as though we're isolated individuals moving through a reality that exists outside of us. But what if everything you've been taught about your relationship with the world is wrong? What if, instead of being a passive observer, you are the very fabric of the reality you experience? Quantum physics has been revealing something mind-blowing for decades. You are not separate from the reality you wish to create. You are the quantum field itself, localized in this form. The energy that makes up everything around you, every atom, every particle, every experience is one with you. There's no divide between you and the world. You are the world. In quantum physics, there's a concept called the observer effect. It shows us that reality is not fixed until it is observed. The act of observing something in the quantum realm collapses the wave function, bringing it into a specific state. But here's the astonishing part. You are the observer. And as the observer, you are not just watching reality unfold. You are actively participating in its creation. Think about that for a moment. In the quantum field, you are the creator and the created. You are the energy, the consciousness, and the observer. Everything that exists around you is a reflection of the consciousness that you are, interacting with the quantum field. This isn't just some abstract idea, it's how reality works. You've been taught that you must force things to happen, to strive, to fight for what you want. But in the quantum field, creating your reality isn't about forcing anything. It's about simply being aware of what already is. Your awareness, your attention, is the tool by which you collapse the infinite possibilities of the quantum field into the experience you call your life. Let me offer you an example. Imagine you are walking through your day, thinking about your goals, your desires, your dreams. At any given moment, there are countless possibilities before you. Yet, as your awareness focuses on certain possibilities, whether it's a specific outcome, a relationship, a situation, you collapse all the other possibilities into the reality you experience. It's not that you control every detail, but you choose the direction by where you place your attention. This is the essence of quantum consciousness. The field is not separate from you, it is you. The choices you make, the thoughts you think, the emotions you feel, they all influence the quantum field. They are the signal you send to the universe, creating the reality that aligns with your consciousness. So, the next time you find yourself wondering how to manifest your desires, remember this: it's not about working hard, chasing after, or striving. It's about becoming fully aware of the reality you wish to experience, knowing that you are the energy that makes it possible. By becoming the observer, you also become the creator. Now, I want you to take a moment and reflect. How has your perception of reality changed as you've learned more about quantum consciousness? How have you started to feel more connected with the field of your own reality? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. You may just inspire someone else to awaken to the truth of their own power. Shifting from seeking to simply being is one of the most profound transformations you can experience. For so long, you may have believed that you need to find something, achieve something, or become someone before you can feel peace, fulfillment, or wholeness. We've been taught to chase, always searching for more success, more understanding, more growth. But the truth is, transformation doesn't come from adding more to yourself. It comes from realizing that you are already whole, already complete, in this very moment. When you stop seeking and simply are, you begin to feel the depth of your true nature. The quest to become something more creates a cycle of endless striving, always looking ahead, always believing that your value lies in the future. But what if the there you've been aiming for was never outside you? What if it's been here the entire time? This is the essence of embodied presence. To live in embodied presence is to be deeply aware of the moment without judgment, without forcing change, and without the constant need to improve yourself. It's a quiet acceptance of who you are right now, without resistance. And something beautiful happens in this space. When you stop trying to change, peace arises. When you stop trying to fix, clarity emerges. And when you stop trying to fill imagined gaps, you discover that everything you've been seeking has always lived within you. When you stop chasing, you also stop running away from yourself. You see that the answers, the peace, and the wholeness you've been looking for were never out there. All along, you've been the one who could give yourself the love, the clarity, and the grounding you've been hoping to find somewhere else. At first, letting go of striving might feel foreign. For years, maybe your whole life, you've been told that transformation is about doing, achieving, becoming. But the deepest transformation, the kind that lasts, comes when you realize that being is enough. You don't have to keep chasing. In fact, the moment you stop, life begins to meet you where you are. Opportunities, insights, and connections arrive naturally when you're no longer exhausting yourself in pursuit of them. Allowing yourself to simply be doesn't mean giving up on growth or becoming stagnant. It means shifting your center of gravity from lack to wholeness. From that place, change and growth happen naturally, without the pressure and strain that come from feeling incomplete. You begin to participate in life from fullness rather than from need. And here's the paradox: when you stop searching for peace, you find it. When you stop trying to arrive, you realize you've been home all along. The seeking drops away, and what's left is a stillness that holds everything you thought you had to chase. So, ask yourself, how does it feel when you stop trying to become someone else and simply embrace who you already are? It feels like freedom. It feels like peace. It feels like returning to yourself after a long journey only to discover you never truly left. If this realization is resonating with you, if you're starting to feel the quiet truth that you are already enough, pause for a moment. Let that knowing settle in your body. You've always been whole. You've always had everything you needed within you. And if you're ready to continue living from this space of presence where life is no longer a race to somewhere else, but a deep experience of here, then subscribe and join the movement of consciousness awakening through presence. Together, we can stop chasing and start being. The journey ends where you stand, and from here, everything changes. The natural state, living without resistance. Living in your natural state is about dropping the constant inner fight, letting go of the subtle push and pull we carry every day. It's not about becoming someone new or reaching some imagined perfect version of yourself. It's about remembering who you already are when the noise, the striving, and the resistance quiet down. We often think resistance is only about big moments, major life changes or conflicts. But resistance shows up in countless small ways: judging yourself, wishing things were different, replaying the past, or tensing up against the present moment. This quiet, habitual tension pulls us away from our natural state. And in that natural state, there is no fight, there's simply being. When you align with your natural state, life begins to flow effortlessly. This doesn't mean challenges disappear, but your relationship to them changes. Instead of pushing back or trying to control every outcome, you meet each moment with openness. You stop spending energy on resisting what is, and start allowing life to unfold in its own rhythm. So, what is this natural state? It's not an altered, mystical condition that only a few can access. It's the state you're in when you're relaxed, grounded, and fully present, when you're not tangled up in your thoughts about how things should be. It's the way you feel in those rare moments when you're simply here, without needing anything to be different. To embody this state, start by noticing where you resist life. It could be as simple as wanting a conversation to end sooner, wishing the weather were better, or feeling frustrated at a slow-moving line. These are small frictions, but they accumulate, creating a constant undercurrent of stress. Each time you notice resistance, pause, take a breath. Ask yourself, what if I didn't fight this? What if I simply allowed this moment to be as it is? At first, this can feel uncomfortable. The mind is used to controlling, fixing, and adjusting, but with practice, something shifts. You begin to realize that when you stop resisting, you open yourself to the effortless flow of the universe. The energy you once used to push against life becomes available for living it more fully. In this space, you're not passively letting life happen to you, you're deeply engaged, but without the friction of constant struggle. You make decisions, take action, and respond to life, but from a grounded place of ease rather than urgency. And because your inner state is calm, the outer world often starts to reflect that calm back to you. Here's a simple example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. Resistance looks like gripping the steering wheel, muttering about how late you'll be, replaying what you should have done differently to avoid this. Living in your natural state looks like recognizing you're here. You can't change it in this moment, and you can use the time to listen to music, breathe, or simply be present. The situation hasn't changed, but your experience of it has transformed. Over time, living without resistance rewires how you move through life. Stress loses its grip. Challenges become opportunities to stay rooted in presence. And the more you practice, the more your default shifts from tension to openness. This isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about meeting reality directly, without layering it with mental struggle. Paradoxically, when you stop resisting life, you often find that solutions emerge more naturally, relationships feel lighter, and opportunities come with less effort. So, I invite you to notice today, what is one thing you can stop resisting? It might be a situation, a feeling, or even a part of yourself. Let it be as it is, and see what shifts. When you stop resisting what is, you open yourself to the effortless flow of the universe. This is the essence of living from your natural state. Comment below with one thing you're no longer resisting in your life. Manifestation from the natural state. We often think of manifestation as a process of attracting something we don't yet have: more money, better relationships, a new home, or personal success. But here's the subtle trap. If you believe you need these things to feel whole, you're manifesting from a place of lack. And when you create from lack, you send out a signal of "I don't have," which often leads to more of the same. The real shift happens when manifestation stops being about fixing yourself or filling a gap, and instead becomes a natural extension of your being. When you're living in your natural state, present, grounded, and at peace, you're not trying to get something to feel complete. You already feel whole. From this space, creation flows effortlessly. Think of it like this: if you plant seeds in poor soil, you have to work hard to keep them alive. That's manifestation from lack, constant effort, constant worrying. But when the soil is already rich and fertile, seeds naturally grow. That's manifestation from abundance. You're not forcing growth. You're creating conditions where it happens naturally. Let's use a practical example. Imagine you want a new job. From lack, "I need this job to feel secure and valued." The energy here is tense, anxious, and results focused. You might over-prepare, overthink, or feel discouraged if results don't come quickly. From abundance, "I already feel secure and valuable. The right role will align with who I am." This energy is calm and confident. You still take action, but without the desperation. You trust the process and stay open to possibilities. When you create from a place of abundance and presence, manifestation stops being about chasing something. You're not pushing life, you're partnering with it. The universe responds to the energy you embody, not just the words you say or the vision board you create. Here's why this matters. Manifestation is less about the techniques you use and more about the state you're in when you use them. You can visualize, write affirmations, or make action plans, but if they're fueled by fear, doubt, or urgency, they carry that energy. When they're fueled by presence, gratitude, and wholeness, they carry ease, trust, and openness. To begin shifting into your natural state, notice where you're manifesting from lack. Is there tension, impatience, or fear in your desire? Anchor into the present. Remind yourself that in this moment, you are whole. Nothing is missing. Act from fullness. Take steps toward your desire, but from a place of joy, curiosity, and trust. This doesn't mean you stop wanting things, it means your wants come from inspiration, not desperation. You can still set goals, make plans, and dream big, but now you're aligned with a deeper truth: you're already enough. When you manifest from your natural state, the process feels lighter. Opportunities show up in unexpected ways. Relationships feel more aligned. And because you're no longer grasping, what's right for you can find its way into your life more easily. When you're no longer seeking from a place of lack, creation flows effortlessly. You're not pulling things toward you, they're naturally gravitating toward the space you've created. If this resonates with you, I invite you to reflect on one thing you've been trying to manifest. Ask yourself, am I seeking this from a sense of wholeness or from a sense of lack? If it's from lack, pause, shift into presence. Connect with your natural state and let your actions flow from there. If you feel ready to create from your natural state, like and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. Let's step into a way of manifesting that's effortless, joyful, and rooted in who we truly are, embodying the shift, becoming the demonstration. As you shift your consciousness, the change extends far beyond just you. It's easy to think of transformation as a personal journey, but as you embody your true essence, you start impacting others in ways you might not even realize. Your shift is part of a larger collective transformation happening around the world. When you consciously step into your authentic self, your presence becomes a reflection of this greater shift in human consciousness. You no longer need to convince others to change because your energy speaks for itself. Simply by being your true self, you begin to shift the energy around you, gently guiding others toward their own awakening. Your embodiment has power. When you embody your true essence, you become a living demonstration of consciousness in form. You're no longer just talking about change, you are the embodiment of it. As you live authentically, your energy radiates, inviting others to explore their own truth. This is the essence of being a field anchor. Your presence in the world stabilizes the energy of higher consciousness, making it accessible to those around you. You're not forcing transformation upon others. Instead, your aligned presence encourages them to explore their own alignment. As you move through the world with this new state of consciousness, people will begin to notice. At first, it may be subtle. A colleague may comment on your calm energy, or a friend may ask how you seem so peaceful despite challenges. These moments are when the collective shift begins to ripple out. Your presence alone becomes the message. Why does this happen? Because energy is contagious. Words can teach, but energy transforms. The more you live authentically, the more you show others what's possible. You become a living example of the peace, love, and clarity that comes from living in alignment with your true self. This process happens naturally. You don't have to try to teach or convince anyone. People are drawn to authenticity, and when they experience it in you, they may begin questioning their own beliefs and perceptions. You don't need to influence them actively. Simply by being yourself, you allow them to reflect on their own truth. Imagine the impact of this in everyday life. At work, your calm presence can shift a stressful meeting. With friends, your deep listening might lead to more meaningful conversations. In your family, your self-acceptance could encourage others to reflect on their own worth. This is the quiet power of embodiment. As you live your true nature, you become an anchor for others to discover theirs. How can you begin? It starts with self-awareness. Take time to connect with your true self, releasing any limiting beliefs or fears. As you embody your essence, the energy you radiate influences those around you. It's an inner transformation that impacts everything you touch. When you live fully as yourself, without seeking validation from others, you step into your highest potential, and that energy transforms your relationships, your work, and the world around you. If you feel the energy of this shift, if you resonate with the idea of living as a living demonstration of higher consciousness, I encourage you to subscribe and stay connected to this community of awakened beings. Together, we can continue to grow, anchoring this shift and inspiring others to do the same. By embodying your true nature, you're not just transforming yourself, you're helping shift the collective consciousness. Living beyond the final test, the path of service. Crossing the final threshold of awakening doesn't end the journey, it redirects it. In your natural state, clarity and compassion stop being goals and start becoming your baseline. From that baseline, a deeper invitation arrives to serve the collective field. Your presence, choices, and attention nourish the shared consciousness we all inhabit, quietly helping others soften, remember, and awaken. Your awakening was never meant to terminate in personal satisfaction. It is an offering. Now you are a stabilizing point in the human network, a calm node through which coherence spreads. You don't convert, you embody. You don't persuade, you demonstrate. This is service as frequency, living truth so consistently that it becomes a mirror in which others recognize their own. How to serve from your natural state. Keep it simple, relational, and grounded in integrity. Hold presence, listen fully, regulate yourself, let silence do work. Offer micro-kindness. Small timely help shifts fields more than speeches. Share live stories, not dogma. Speak from experience, invite curiosity. Create safe spaces for reflection, grief, and honest recalibration. Practice ethical discernment, check motives, include others' dignity and choice. Align work and service, let your craft transmit coherence and care. Tend the mundane, rest, boundaries, maintenance. Service needs sustainable vessels. Your awakening isn't just for you, it's for the collective. As you awaken, you help others remember their truth. In practice, this looks ordinary and luminous, bringing steadiness to tense rooms, asking the kind question one else asks, choosing repair over being right, and honoring the slow timing of real change. Each humble act becomes a signal in the field, reminding people that compassion and clarity are available here and now. Keep returning to humility, openness, and practice. Service is not performance, it is continuity. Comment below and share one way you're already serving the collective consciousness. Your note may spark recognition in someone who needed it today, more than you realize. Conclusion: trust in the process. Take a breath. You have traveled far, and you are exactly where you need to be. The path you're on is not a race, not a ladder to climb, not a set of badges to collect. It is a living relationship with the present moment, where your truth reveals itself one honest breath at a time. Trust that. Trust the quiet ways your life is reorganizing around what is real. You don't need to strive to become someone else. You are invited to relax into who you already are, to embody your natural state without performance or pressure. Paradoxically, the less you chase results, the more deeply life meets you. Alignment replaces ambition. Authenticity replaces achievement. What matters is the quality of presence you bring to this moment. Let simplicity guide you. Notice your body, your breath, the space between thoughts. When doubts arise, meet them gently. When old patterns knock, answer with patience. Your practice is not to perfect yourself, but to remember yourself again and again, in the middle of ordinary days. From here, clarity grows, relationships soften, and service becomes natural. This isn't the end of your journey. It's the beginning of a life lived fully in your natural state. Let that sentence be a doorway you walk through each morning. Keep choosing honesty over performance, connection over control, and curiosity over certainty. Keep listening for the subtle yes in your chest. Keep trusting the pace of your own unfolding. If you forget, begin again. If you stumble, be kind. The path is generous, and it keeps meeting you exactly where you are. Trust the process that is already moving through you, and let your life be the proof. If you're ready to embody your truth, subscribe to continue this journey of collective awakening. Together, we are shifting the world. Stay close to your heart, breathe, and let life unfold. You are ready, and you are already enough.